You sat here getting on me, and you
That's what I get for talking mess, y'all.
exactly.
It's okay. It's okay. Like I was saying, thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face, the podcast where we talk about real struggle, real lives, and lupus beyond. I am your host, Savannah of the Lupus Has No Face podcast. Okay, and I am here with our special guest, but he's no
I
longer
was like, "I ain't
special because
special
he's
no
been
more."
on this show multiple times. Okay, y'all already know who he is. Mr. Tone Deaf Antonio Luckett, TDR Network is in the building today. How are you
I
doing,
am.
buddy?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful after the amazing May that we just have, and the awesome June that we're already having. I'm in a great mood. I'm in a
That's
great mood.
dope. I see you got on one of the dopest shirts in the
I
nation.
mean,
I mean, what do you wear right
it's in
now?
the top five, but
Top five.
it's not four or five, but it's definitely in the top five. You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
It's my Lupus Has No Face shirt with special collaborations with Shut Up and Hustle. So if y'all want these, make sure y'all go to Lupus Has No Face. Go ahead and cop y'all's while they still in stock, because these are limited editions. Because once
They
these is
are
gone, they gone. I'm just letting you know that right now.
vintage for sure. And go ahead and scan the QR code up in your left hand corner. I don't know, depends on what side you're sitting on or what the screen look like while you're viewing me. I don't know, but left or right, but you see the QR code.
Big facts.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it, right?
Okay.
We're going to be breaking the stigma, mental health, lupus, and understanding
Mm.
communities. Yes, right.
Yes.
We can't talk enough about this. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So they already know who you are, but just in case there are some new members that is watching around the world, just give us a little bit about who you are and what inspired you to become an advocate in this space.
All right, so allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Tone. That's Tone. I am the founder and CEO of TDR
I like
Network.
that. I was about to say, okay,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
okay.
like that's what you'll be around. You do be around me, but you ain't heard me
That
say it
was
yet.
cute. Okay,
All
okay.
right, so I am the founder of TDR Network, the largest podcasting network in the Midwest, an audio video production company. But most importantly, I am one half of the newest coaching and consulting company here out the city of Milwaukee of SNA Coaching. But no, when it comes to what I do is I've always been an advocate in regards to mental health. As most people know right now, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And then with the Man Up initiative, I'm going even harder in regards to making sure that our black and brown men understand that mental health is very important and it's okay to not be okay. Then when you look at how me and you have been going hard in regards to the lupus advocacy, I've come to the realization that freshly diagnosed people are the ones who need someone to talk them through this more than anybody.
For
Um,
sure.
Me and you have sat down sometimes and we've looked at some of the lupus warriors and the things they say and just really unpack what they're asking for. And one of the biggest things it always seems to convey is they need someone to help them help themselves in the long run, not just physically, but also mentally, because learning to live well with lupus, make sure you pick up the journal, it's definitely something that's needed for a lot of the warriors out here right now.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's definitely well put. What does breaking the stigma means to you personally?
It goes back to, like I said, with the Man Up Project. The reason why it's named the Man Up Project is because growing up, little black boys, little black girls, little brown boys, little brown girls are told to just suck it up.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to express your emotions. You're not allowed to be soft. You know, when we were younger, you were called a sissy or a fag or something along that lines if you tried to show any emotions. And unfortunately, those men who bottled it up all those years are the ones who have the hardest time unpacking those emotions. And they tend to have violent outbursts. And unfortunately, they don't just only hurt themselves, they hurt those that are around them.
Absolutely.
So to me, breaking that stigma is breaking the thought process that you have to do everything. Yes, to be a man is to carry the load, to be the provider, to be the protector in your household, but that doesn't mean that you have to suffer in silence as well. You are allowed to say this is not a good day for me. You are allowed to say, I need a break. You are allowed to say, hold on, give me a minute. That's cool to do that. And if your peoples rock with you like they do, they'll understand that as well too, because the last thing we need is for you not to be here anymore.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So just to touch a little tad bit
Okay.
on, I know that there are families out there that raise their kids in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
And as being a grown woman with the understanding in today's world, it's almost sad for their generation as well, because it's like they only can teach you what they were taught.
Exactly.
But in my generation today, there are things that we were taught that we are relearning and unlearning, because we know that was unhealthy. So
Right.
my thing is, what did not bridge that gap to where it didn't correlate to them that this is wrong?
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Survival.
saying?
You often are starting to hear this word that people are acting in survival mode, right? And when you look at the generation above us, you look at our parents and you look at our grandparents, sometimes we got to sit back and look at what was going on in the world at the time. And for the Black community, it was 100% survival. It was 100%. We only could do what we were allowed to do because society did not allow us to have it because of our skin color.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at a lot of our grandfathers, they had to just get out and just do whatever they could. They had to get out and work in the factories. If you lived in the city of Milwaukee during that time, 60 hours a week just to make sure that the family was provided. And you couldn't come home and complain about how the job did this, because you didn't have too many other choices. You had to accept what you had to accept. So you had to be quiet and accept the cruelty that was being given to you. And then the conversation that we as Black men have to eventually have with our Black boys is, how do you go out into the world as a Black man? And because racism still exists, I'll be honest with you here, we being raw and uncut today, racism still exists. And because racism still exists, there's certain ways that we can't behave. We don't have the freedom to behave in a certain manner. So we're always in this perpetual state of survival. And because of that, we are taught we can't do certain things. We can't express ourselves. We can't question why things are the way they are. So we have to sit there. And because we get put in these moments and get put in these situations, we have to sit there and sit with our anger, because the minute we show any type of emotion while we're in these uncomfortable situations, it can immediately be used against us, even to the point where they may unalive us because of that. So a lot of times we can't even process our emotions in those moments, not even just talking about, I'm mad at my girlfriend, but I can't say nothing because she ain't gonna listen. I'm talking like you can't even tell somebody in the grocery store you wrong for what you doing, because it can easily be turned against us. And now we're the victims of a situation that we were just trying to right the wrong, you know? So yeah, it's survival mode, 100%.
So you think that they were acting in survival mode as to why they didn't change versus today? They're not acting in survival mode.
Exactly. I think survival mode is there, but I think the openness of opportunities are greater. We give people, with the birth of the internet and social media especially, there's a lot more places that you can express yourself. There's a lot more resources that you can reach out to. Let's take you for an example. Lupus Has No Face is live and thriving online. We have people, when the show is on, that's all the way in Nepal, that can watch your show and get your teachings and get your guidings and helping them live well with lupus. Whereas in the city that they live in, that person may be the only person who's diagnosed with lupus. So they don't know who to talk to. So they don't know who to speak to in their frustration and whatnot, while they're trying to live well with it. But here you are all the way across the country, giving them the resources they need. So now there's an avenue where a lot of people can get those resources. You can go and join a social media group that's like-minded like you. You don't have to just sit in your house and accept the fact that nobody in your house likes anime like you do. So now you're considered the weird person in the house, or you like to wear black and wear gloves with your fingers out. You're weird in the household because we grew up in this survival like household, but I can go on social media and I can find a whole group full of black nerds. And I found my tribe. So now there's more access for us to be able to express ourselves in the ways that we are more comfortable with that can help us get through things. And our community is talking more about therapy. Our community is talking more about get yourself a life coach, which is a beautiful life coach right here. She is currently opening her books for the summer, so make sure you sign up. But yeah, we're given the resources now more ever than before. Because I could tell you right now, there was no such thing as a life coach when our grandparents was our age.
No, there was not.
You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, the black community thought therapy was don't have them people in your business. Now I can go download an app and find a black therapist that fits my wants and needs easily.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Oh, okay. When did you first realize that lupus affects more than just the body?
Ooh.
Mhm.
Now we've had this conversation on
Yeah.
multiple different episodes, but the more and more I am working in my purpose with you, okay, I'm starting to notice that I'm noticing that it affects more than just the body. Just looking back at individuals who's been in my life, like I think I said on a previous episode, or at least in privacy with you, my mom informed me that my grandmother had lupus.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know that until years after my grandmother passed away. My mom, after we, went through her medical stuff, rest in peace to her. She too had lupus. Was not aware of that. So then I sat down and I looked at like how her body and the things that both my grandmother and my mother complained about, which I chalked up as only as arthritis, because that's all I knew about. She always talked about her hands hurting or her joints hurting. I'm just thinking that's, old people who work with their hands all the time, they're going to have pain. But there was more to it. Once I figured out she had lupus, and with your help, getting that understanding of how lupus actually affects people, I started looking at my grandmother a little bit differently. I started looking at what she went through. I started looking at those moments of exhaustion, those moments of fatigue. And then I really started looking at how, like, my grandma would be tired to the point where she didn't want to get out the bed that day, but yet she still got up. And not only did she make sure her house was good, she still made food was cooked. She still made the kids was good. She was doing all that. But mentally, I know my grandma was drained. Now that I got this knowledge, I know she was drained. I even sit back and I look at you. I look at how on days you can be beyond exhausted, but you're not tired. So I know you're mentally exhausted because at the end of the day, you still got to get up. You still got to go do your job. You still got to do what you need to do for lupus. You still got to make sure the kids is good. You still got to make sure son is good. You still got to make sure Cody is good. You still have to do for everybody who you do. So even though your lupus is in remission, where you may not be having those physical things, but your mental exhaustion is still there. So yeah. Shout out to you.
Yes, my goal is to teach people the unknown. If you
Exactly.
don't know, then you just do not know.
And that's why y'all need to sign up for her classes. I'm telling you, they dope.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How has living with or supporting someone with lupus impact your mental health?
Let me ask you this question. As you, the individual with the invisible illness, who we are a team, how do you think my mental health has been impacted since knowing you?
I feel like you are more aware.
Okay.
You're more alert. You have created a system that works for the both of us.
Okay.
Um, in a nutshell.
Okay. Mentally, when you are around me, I am on 8. Not in a bad way. Let me clarify that real quickly. Because I know that there are those extra needs for you.
Mhm.
I don't look at those needs as anything of you being someone who's just needy and got to have it your way. Like after I've gotten to learn you and working with you in regards to stuff, I come to find out those needs are necessities. Those are things that you have to have in order to be able to function properly. So that's why those little conversations we have sometimes just to help you decompress.
Mhm.
even though to most people it's just chit chat that's going on, but to you getting that extra information that's not that important but still important off your brain lets your memory free up so you can navigate other things that are more important in regards to that time. Those moments when you may call and the first thing out your mouth, hey, did you get this done? Did we do this? This done? Blah, blah, blah. You need to have that unpacked and clarified in your head in order for you to do what you have to do for the rest of the day. So if you know that all the stuff in regards to lupus has no face is good to go, that's one less thing you have to worry about. That's one less stressor that's sitting on you. And the less stress that's on you, the more functional you are. Because one of the greatest things about you is you will take on the world, but one of your flaws is you get irritated while doing it. So the less irritation that you can have by just simply making sure boxes are checked for you makes you the phenomenal person that you can be.
Absolutely, and I do appreciate that.
Okay.
And you do not understand how much that absolutely means to me to walk into a space where I don't have to do anything. Well, I do a lot, but I don't have to do anything but to show up and present.
You know what? I actually take pride in making those moments happen because I know how much they meant to you. So, like, for an example, for those who missed out on the informational, shame on you. Okay, first and foremost. Um, the fact that you did nothing in regards to the informational other than show up and present. To be able to do that for you was both a benchmark in regards to our professionalism with each other, but more importantly, that was an achievement unlocked for me. And the reason why I felt that way is because that means I know enough about what this organization is, where you want to go with it, and how you want to do it to the point where you don't have to be a part of it and it still comes out the way you want it to be, which means that's one less stressor off of you. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do that for every single event because there's going to be some events where, look, you got to tell me how you want to do this because you're not going to yell at me on the day of because you don't like it that way. But at the same time, I know how if the small things can be handled, you can give all your all into the big things.
You just dropped the mic with that one.
I apologize.
I think that this opened up doors for the people that was in your past, and I think this open up the doors for people that you are going to come in contact with.
I agree. I
Well, I
received
don't
that.
think that
I
it will. It
received that.
has.
I received that.
What are some emotional battles that people will with lupus face with others may not see?
Hmm. Emotional battles that y'all deal with is, and I've noticed from other lupus warriors, I don't know about you, but most lupus warriors that I've been keeping tabs on, y'all are afraid of losing y'all independency and y'all identity. The minute you become an individual who is trying to live well with lupus, everyday things change for y'all. Um, like the other day, me and you were going over some questions and things that came across the board from a lot of people who are trying to live well with lupus. And one of the biggest things was those abilities to have those basic everyday things. People not being able to take those long walks like they used to, being able to go out and have a 3-day vacation, enjoying it like nothing with their friends. It's like they'll go out the first day and then they may be useless for the last 2 days because their body,
Useless.
they be that their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. Okay, their words, not mine. But they can't enjoy the vacation, the rest of the vacation, the way that they want to enjoy because their body won't let them be out there like that. They have to change and alter who they are. So one of the biggest things that I've seen is it's just basically learning how to be the new you. Because whether you're diagnosed with cancer, whether you have lymphoma, leukemia, or you have lupus, or you have fibromyalgia, it's a part of you now. It doesn't just go away. Even if you are a survivor or in remission, it's still a part of you. So you still have to learn how to live well with it. You have to adjust how you are. So no, you may not be able to take those long walks down by the beach on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, but maybe take a half a mile today. Maybe take 3/4 of a mile 2 weeks from now. Maybe build back up to that, or just enjoy the fact that you can walk a half a mile right now. You know, you have to alter your mind to look for the positive and the good in everything, and then alter your reality for what you have coming up, because you could not be able to walk again. But I'm not saying be negative. Just enjoy what you got now.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We're going to be moving on to underserving the community, right? So, why is it important to have conversations about lupus within underserving communities?
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. Since working with you, I never realized how marginalized the lupus community was. We have a major organization out here in America that really talks loud about lupus and whatnot, but that's on a higher level where if you don't have the right eyes on it, you wouldn't even know they were there. So knowing that, then like you said, I recently found out dealing with you that it definitely affects the black community more than it affects anybody, especially African American women. So when you look at the black and brown community and you look at how the women outnumber the men, it's 13-1. So that means for every 13-1 group of women to men, 3 to 4 of them might have lupus when you look at those numbers like that. So, with those kind of numbers, it's very important to educate people where they are. Let women know what lupus looks like, how does it affect them. There's little things that we may just brush off as, oh, I'm just tired because I worked 9 hours this week instead of 8. No, it may be more than that. Oh, no, my skin is just breaking out because the makeup I use. And that may be true, but that may be more than that. You know, there's more things that could play a factor in regards to what it is. I got this feeling in my hand that just won't go away. That's your nervous system telling you something. And we in the black community, we don't really take advantage of our medical professions like we used, like we need to. We don't go to the doctor as much as we need to. We don't go to do nothing but our basic general checkups that we're supposed to do, and we barely do that. So now you have to go to a specialist. You have to go to a rheumatologist. What is a rheumatologist? I can't afford that. I can't afford that bill. The whole time you suffering in silence and don't even realize it. So yeah, it's very important in our community. We need more advocacy in regards to. We need more people like you to be on the ground level. I don't even care. I give you one thing I give you credit for, and I swear to God, I love it every single time you do it. We could be anywhere. It does not matter. It'll be a random person. Hey, what do you know about lupus? And that's literally how you start your conversation. What do you know about lupus? And I'm like, she just asked this random man. Oh, I don't know much about it, but I think my uncle got it. Oh, your uncle. And boom, you in there. Within a little 5 seconds general chit chat conversation, you have just educated somebody on a little small tidbit fact about lupus. And that person may go and tell somebody else. But you know what the beautiful thing about when people do that? You start noticing stuff even more. You start seeing the word lupus more. You start hearing the word lupus come out of people's mouths, and now you're a trigger. Hey, I met some girl at Brownstone that was talking about lupus. Now it's a conversation piece. Now it's being talked about in a place where it may not have ever came up if you didn't randomly tap a guy on the shoulder and was like, hey, what do you know about lupus? While smoking a hookah, too. I just want y'all to know that. She'll be smoking a hookah talking about lupus. It'd be so funny as hell. But
TMI, TMI, TMI.
but what I'm saying that to say,
I
it
know.
doesn't matter where you are. You are not afraid to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
You are not. And I think that's what I love the
I wish
best
somebody
about
would
you.
have did that to me when I was young.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. If we have more people doing that earlier, the conversation about lupus would be just as big as the conversation about cancer. Because it affects every household. There is somebody in every family, no matter what race, creed, or color you are, that knows somebody that has lupus. So why isn't the conversation as big as cancer?
Why? Why, Jan? Why?
Why? I'm
Why?
talking to
It's
you,
because it's the
society.
black and brown. It's more prominent in the black and brown. That's
And
why.
then that does play a factor,
It
unfortunately,
does.
in this
It
in this
does.
country.
It
But
does.
lupus is not only in America.
It's not.
So what about those other countries? What's stopping those? Why does a guy in Nepal have to come all the way over here and watch this young lady in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to be able to get any information? Why is it not on a bigger scale?
Mm. Who or what keeps you going when your mental health give up on you?
Hey, and this is not because I'm on her show. This is because of the kind of bond we built. Believe it or not, Savannah, along with my kids, really be the main ones that keep me going. Because whenever I be frustrated or I'm about close to crashing out, I always end up calling her. And our conversations be going 12 different directions, but the fact that she lets me crash out in the way to the point where she didn't even think I was crashing out, sometimes that's all I be needing. And I think we both have that kind of relationship both ways, where when you're having a stressful mental day, you'll call me and you'll unpack with me right away whatever you need to unpack. And usually by the time we're off the phone, both of us are probably in a better clarity than we were before. And sometimes people need that. You need someone who you can just not necessarily dump on, but organize your shit with. Because if you got somebody who you can organize your stuff with, it makes the rest of everything else go good. Like before on our way coming here, confirming how we was going to do the show, I called her and told her how about I had a terrible day at work. Well, what was wrong with it? What made it bad? What did you do? Where went wrong? What did you say? In my mind, I'm like, let me unpack that, because you know what ends up happening? I go back to work the very next day, and now I unpack the next time I work with a client the exact same way. Hey, when I got ready to crash out yesterday, this is how I was feeling. Stop, breathe, back it up. You know better, and all that came from the fact that we unpacked what I did today so it doesn't happen again.
Aw.
You know this. Like, I don't know why she
Uh,
she know this.
okay. How has your mental health changed your relationships with your family, friends, or partners?
Ooh. All right, you, my friend, how do you feel?
No,
The,
I asked you
I'm
the
gonna,
question. This.
I'm gonna tell you because my to check all three of those boxes. When I took my mental health serious, one of the biggest things that I had to do was forgive and let go. I had a lot of past trauma, and I had a lot of anger and resentment towards individuals in my past. In order for me to be able to be the best version of me, I had to leave the old version of me behind. And in order to do that, I had to take the anchor off. And one of the biggest things I did was I forgave people whether they deserved it or not. That was one of the first things I had to do to clear up my mind, to clear up my mental, to let things go. The second thing I started doing, I incorporated a phrase. If they not funding me, feeding me, you could fill in the last F yourself. I didn't give a care. And once I started looking at each individual who I dealt with on a day-to-day basis with that same mentality, I started realizing I'm holding on to friendships, relationships, situationships, partnerships that wasn't servicing me. They were draining me physically, mentally, emotionally, and there was no need for me to still have them. So once I started letting go of those particular situations and really didn't give it no more additional energy, I started finding out that I had a lot more clarity in what I'm supposed to be doing. I had a lot more ideas of where I want to go with things, because now this individual who would occupy my time on a Friday night, which was doing nothing but draining me, that I didn't even want to get up on Saturday morning. Now, not only do I have Friday night free, but I'm alive and alert on Saturday morning. I'm in the mood to go to the gym now. And all because I had to let go the anchors that was in my life. I had to untether myself from people. And because of that, my partnerships are phenomenal, because let's keep it a buck. We making moves that can't nobody stop. We on a level right now, supreme to the devil. My relationships are beautiful. My family, once again, I'm at a different plateau in regards to a lot of my family. I've gotten to the point right now where I don't feel like I need to save my family when they in their stuff.
Mm.
Sometimes my bad, but you got to handle that on your own at this point in time. I have no problem not calling nobody. You know how it's a beautiful thing to not have your phone ring? It's a beautiful thing. And and the only time it does ring is when it's about money coming in, not going out. Ooh, baby girl. Just saying.
Pop. That's like a popping collar type of ooh. I have popped the
You can pop it because you my partner. So, like I
I
said,
have popped the collar. That is so funny, but that's true though.
it
That is
is.
so true. Like family will have you. That's a whole nother
It's a
topic. I'm
whole
not
nother.
even
We
gonna
say
go
that for
there.
glam coms.
I'm gonna even go there. What have you learned about yourself through this journey?
I'm a real ass. I'm a very educated individual who can make moves when I need to make moves. When my team is on point, there is not a single thing I cannot get done.
Okay. Okay. All right. We're gonna be moving on to empowerment and healing.
Ooh,
What advice would you give someone who has just been diagnosed with
ooh.
mental health issues?
First and foremost, it is okay to not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just got told something heavy. Okay. So whether it's you just got told you have schizophrenia, you got bipolar disorder, you got diagnosed with lupus, you found out you have rheumatoid arthritis, you got fibromyalgia, you just found out you got stage 1 through 4 cancer, whatever, you just got told something that mentally you will never be the same. No matter how you want to look at it, both good or bad. So it's okay to have those moments to not be okay, but do not live in the not okay for too long. Process it, accept it, figure out what your next step is. Get help. Get help. I don't care. Get you a therapist, get you a life coach, get you a mentor, get you somebody that's going to help you move forward in regards to that. And you can get all that from Savannah Burke. So make sure you go to lupushasnoface.com and sign up for her classes. But get you help, okay? Get you somebody who's going to work with you, because one of the greatest assets of when dealing with something is having somebody who understands. People who are trying to get off of alcohol or doing drugs, they don't just do it by themselves. What do? They go to AA meetings.
Yeah.
They go to drug users anonymous. Go get help. It is not a bad thing if you need to talk to somebody about what you're going through. It may be the best help you need. I sat down with my therapist one day and come to find out I had an issue with my granddad. My granddad wasn't in my life long enough to be a problem, but I unpacked it and found out where certain behaviors I got came directly from him,
Mm,
you know?
interesting.
And I also now can parent my children in more of a safer way, because now I'm looking at different looking at different alternatives. Look, I work a job where I talk all day.
That's a tie.
Okay, I work a
That's
job
a
where I
tie.
talk all day. My tongue is tied. Take that whatever way you want to, but my tongue is tied. Okay, but it helped me figure out how to unpack and look at how I raise my own girls differently. So I'm not parenting in survival mode with them. I'm not parenting them with, "Ooh, I don't want you to experience what I experienced." No, y'all are nowhere near where I've been in life. Y'all don't even see half this. Y'all have never been on a city bus. So why am I worried about y'all ever experiencing anything? So now I parent differently in regards to it, because they experience things differently. So get help, people. There's nothing wrong with that. Sign up for classes. Find you something that keeps you occupied as you try to unpack your mind. If you got bipolarism, find 2 different things to do for each side of your polar. Get yourself something out here and have fun and enjoy life, because it's not the end of the road for you. Enjoy it. I know somebody right now who done have 5 surgeries and he be kicking it hard, family and all.
Shout out Lorenzo.
See, I wasn't gonna say no names, but shout out to
I'm shouting out
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
My
He
boy be
living
out
his
here
best
kicking it.
life. Shout out to Lorenzo. Okay. We're gonna no. What does healing look like for you today in this very moment?
In this very moment, healing looks like peace. Healing looks like clarity. Healing looks like drinking the coldest glass of water you ever had, and it's so refreshing. Like looking at the world through like clear vision, because you're not allowing other people's ideas, concepts, and ideology to cloud your judgment is such a beautiful thing. Like the simple fact that I wake up and whatever decision I make, I stand 100% behind whatever I decide to do, because I'm not allowing anything else to bother me. Okay. I know it's me. I love me. I'm doing what I want to do the way I want to do it. And it's a beautiful thing.
Mm, I felt that. Oh, I felt that. I did feel that. What are some healthy ways to protect your mental health while
Ooh.
managing a chronic illness?
Okay. This is something I had to institute in my life. I ain't got no chronic illness other than the fact that I'm Black in America. But
We got comedian Tone in the building.
I'm in a good mood. I told you I woke up. It was me. No, You have to have your me time. You have to have your me time. Um, about a couple of years ago, I implemented that Sunday mornings before 11 a.m. So whatever time I choose to wake up, all the way up until 11 a.m., that is my me time. I do not do anything work related. I do not do anything family related. I do not do anything friend related. It is me time. Now, if I do any of those things during that time, it's because that's what I chose as a me time. But this is time for me. And what this does, it allows me to recenter and reground myself. Go outside and touch some grass. That's not just a phrase, that's a real thing. Go outside and touch some grass. I guarantee you will feel a little bit differently. We are from the earth. We are made from this planet in one shape or form. So reconnecting back to this planet actually does have healing factors. Another thing is watch what you eat. A lot of times we don't understand that what we put in our body affects us tremendously. We are made up 80% of water, and half the time we don't drink water. So, what do you think your body is going to do? Okay. What do you think your body is going to do because you're not putting the right things in your body? Just because you're drinking coffee every morning, you're not matching it with any water. Doesn't that doesn't help? That actually can make it worse, especially with mental health, because you start having these lucid daydreams, and that's a scary thing to have, especially if you have a mental health disorder in regards to it. But stay grounded. Stay grounded. Find you something to do to calm your mind. There is nothing wrong with having a coloring book as an adult. That little moment of just filling in those little lines with the color you chose, if you choose to stay within between the lines, can definitely help you with clarity and getting yourself in a better position.
That's how you feel.
That's how I feel. Matter of fact, go ahead and check out SavannahBurks.com, where she actually has a coloring book for the Lupus Warriors.
I do. I do. Okay, so we're gonna move on to engagement questions, right?
Mm.
So, have you ever been judged because people could not see what you were going through?
Oh, most definitely. Let's keep it a buck. What's the name of your organization?
You tell me what's the name of my organization.
I'm asking you a question. It's the name of your podcast too. The name of your podcast and the
Lupus
name
has
of
no
Lupus
face.
has no face. And you came up with this name because of what?
Because lupus has no face. What is supposed to look like?
Exactly. And that's the same thing with any mental health, even though that is a nerve condition. That's where it focuses in regards to nerves in your body. The same thing with mental health. We don't know what's going on inside of somebody's head. We don't know how people process stuff. We don't know how things are computed in their head. 2 plus 2 might equal 4, but they may do 2 times 2 equals 4 instead. That doesn't mean that the answer is wrong. They just may do it a little bit differently. So you got to give people grace when they think a little bit differently than you think. One of the biggest mental illness that people are not aware of that is becoming very prominent is autism. I have an
Mm.
autistic brother. I have an autistic niece. I may be a slightly touched with the tism myself sometimes. I don't know. I haven't diagnosed myself yet. ADHD, that's a mental health, that's a mental illness, believe it or not. The simple fact that you can't cut your brain off, that's not normal. You know, these are the little things that we think is every day that we live with and we see often, but we don't consider those issues. My brother is autistic. He won't speak, but he's a very high functional individual. You have some people who are autistic that are freaking geniuses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to give people grace, regardless of whatever it is. Whether you have a 6'3", 300 pound nonverbal individual who communicates with clicks and hand signals, or if you got a person that can count up all the change in the bottom of your purse really, really fast, we treat them the same way we'll treat anybody else. You got to give them grace. Because I talk to my brother like I talk to anybody else. Okay.
Mhm.
And I've always treated him just like an ordinary person. I've never treated him any differently. And that's how I want to be, whether or not you can tell if I have a mental condition or not.
What is one thing you wish people knew about mental health?
It affects everybody. Mental health doesn't necessarily mean that you woke up that day and decided to go on a killing spree. Mental health could literally be you can't get out the bed that day. You can't
Mhm.
be a parent that day. You can't do your job that day. You will spaz out and crash out on anybody and everybody if they say the word peanut butter. Mental health can be anything, but the one thing I want people to understand, it affects everybody. It could be affecting you as we speak right now. You
Mhm.
don't realize it. Rest, relaxation, and proper eating is one of the biggest things that can help calm your nervous systems. And your nervous system, when that's thrown off, guess what? Your mental is thrown off. So they go hand in hand. One of the symptoms for lupus warriors is brain fog. That's a mental condition. You can't think straight in that moment. Everything is all jumbled up and cloudy. Give people grace.
Absolutely. How do you maintain hope during difficult seasons of your life?
First of all, I talk to God because bro understands I be going through it. He understands I be going through it. But no, lean on your peoples, but don't dump on your peoples. That's two different things. Lean on your peoples for guidance, for help, for understanding, for clarity, but don't dump your problems on your people. Find those moments, those me times, those rest moments. Write down everything that's going on in your head. One of the greatest tools that we do not truly take advantage of anymore is journal. Journaling your everyday starts off with a little girl telling her story about how she got a crush on somebody in class, and you can come to find out this is the only way that you were able to run a multi-million-dollar business. It's because you're writing down every single thing that's coming in your head, and you're coming back to it 7, 14, 28 days later, and you're finding out, hey, I had this idea back in May. I wasn't ready for it. Now I'm ready for it because tools and the pieces are in the right place. So journaling and writing down what you're going through sometimes can be the greatest tool that you can help be the greatest person you can be.
Mm. What message would you give to someone slightly struggling with their mental health right now?
Stop being hard on yourself. I know for the last 3 questions I put in, give yourself grace, but I cannot push that message even more than I am right now. Like I said, I've been talking all day, so forgive me. Uh, I've been talking all day, so forgive me. You gotta stop being hard. Get like I said before, get yourself that help, get yourself that mentor, get yourself that life coach, get yourself that therapist, get yourself that friend who understands you, who you can talk to in regards to it. Get yourself a place that you can center yourself at where you have your safe space. Here at TDR, since I've literally been doing this from 5 Ys. I've always conveyed safe space. I create a safe space. And I take pride in making sure I have that because mentally, there's a lot of people who come in here to record that they don't even need to record that day. They just need to get away from the world for a minute. I've had people that used to come and hang out in the studio for hours on end. Like, hey man, it's Saturday. What you doing here? Oh man, I just need to get out for a minute. You don't record till Tuesday. Yeah, I know, bro. I just need to get away. All right, man, come on. And that could be the biggest deal for them. The fact that they were able to get away from the world for 2 hours and come and sit around people and just feel a different energy than what they're accustomed to every single day allowed them to be able to make it through the rest of that week. So create yourself space, your safe space, and have that me time. That Sunday to 11 o'clock, I stand on that. Savannah would tell you when we first started doing business, she would be calling me. I didn't answer the phone. It got to the point where she was like, okay, it's 11 o'clock now. Are you ready to talk? I'd be like, let's talk. What's going on? Did you get this done? It's done. Okay. Well, why couldn't you talk to me at night? Because that was my me time. Boy, bye. But she honored it. And she still does to this day because my me time is important to me. Just like when she has her me time. Those moments, those self-care days.
That's right.
Your self-care days. That's what you people need to have. Have more self-care days. Do not beat yourself up if you want to go. I go to Y and I'll sit in the jacuzzi for about an hour. It'd be me and like 3 other old wrinkled people, but we don't care because that's our self-care in that moment. I don't judge nobody. That's for me. I go home. I'm great. Have your self-care days.
And to closing out the question, if the world could hear one message for the mental health community today, what would you want the message to be? Would it be that? I mean, that was dope. But would it be that message?
It would be that message. Like I said, for the second half of this conversation, I keep saying the phrase, give yourself grace. I think we as human beings, especially in the black and brown community, are the hardest on our own selves. We as black men specifically, which is why I started the Man Up Project to begin with, we take on so much of the world that some of it that we take on ain't even for us. We take on the problems of our kids. We take on the problems of our significant others. We take on the problems of our parents. We take on the problems of our brothers. We take on the problems of our sisters. We take on everything. If you are considered a good black man, you are a good black man for everybody that's around
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, for everybody around you. If you're not carrying the load for everybody, you're being the positive representation for everybody of what a good black man can be. So we sometimes can't even have a bad day, but you got to give yourself grace to understand it's okay if you did have a bad day. If you had to cuss out Thomas on the dock because he didn't get the job done, it's cool. You can do that because Thomas messed up and he needs to be told that. You don't have to be the good guy all the time. It is okay to crash out and break. It is okay to do that.
However, it's okay to do that, but do that within reason and do that in a space where you know you're not about to lose your job or go to
You
jail.
definitely don't want to
You know
lose
what
your
I'm saying? You
job.
don't want to do that and be like, oh no. Understand there are consequences, cause and effect of everything, right? So think before you actually do, but understand.
And that's where your
it's
safe
okay to
space
do
and leaning
things.
on your people's coming to play at.
Yes.
Because if you at that point where you might lose your job, lean on your peoples real quick.
Yes, and if
They
they
gon'
people, they gonna tell you.
They gonna tell you what to do. If they your peoples, they'll
When
never
you
let
get
you have a
off,
losers
come to
mentality.
my house. We're gonna come to your house. We're gonna
Mhm.
barbecue. We're gonna have a couple drinks. We're gonna rub it. Whatever. However y'all get down, that's what they gonna do to your mind. This has been a dope conversation.
Thank you.
Understand that mental health is not just for the month of June. It is 365 days of the year, just like lupus is.
Mhm.
Be more kind, show more grace. It costs nothing to be kind. It costs nothing to show grace. If you are dealing with things that you cannot make sense out of, please talk to someone, anyone. Um, you do yourself a disservice by not getting help, by not speaking out. No one is judging you.
Mhm.
Okay. We want to see you here. So please do yourself a favor if you are going through things that you cannot handle. We are here every Wednesday. If you have missed this episode, please go to the Lupus Has No Face podcast to go ahead and replay, like, share, and subscribe. If you are looking for any type of consultation, free consultation, we do get free consultation out. Him on the business side, I'm on the life and wellness side of things. If we do not have the tools that you need, we will definitely refer you to someone. Go ahead and please pick up the journal and the book that is on Amazon. And hope to see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.